Have you ever wondered why some souls are drawn to your fire, while others cannot stand in your light? Why only a very rare few can look at you not with envy, not with fear, but with recognition? Recognition of something ancient, powerful, unbreakable. Recognition of a heart that has burned through lifetimes just to shine the way you do now. Maybe no one ever told you this, but there is nothing random about the way the universe connects hearts. Nothing random about the pull you feel. Nothing random about the signs who stay and the signs who never could. Because love, true love, is not a coincidence. It is a sacred alignment between energies that remember each other beyond this life, beyond time, beyond logic. Today, you will not just listen, you will feel. This message is not entertainment. It is remembrance. There are people who think they know Leo, people who believe Leo is only ego, only fire, only confidence. But the truth is something much deeper, something much more spiritual. Leo is not loud because they want attention. Leo shines because their soul was born connected to the Sunday, and the sun never asks permission to rise. Leo loves with intensity because they do not know lukewarm. They do not know half emotion, half loyalty, half passion. They love fully, fiercely, and fearlessly. And yet, even with all that strength, there is a tenderness inside Leo that very few ever see. A softness protected by pride. A vulnerability guarded by power. This is why only a select few signs are capable of truly loving Leo. Because it takes courage to love someone who burns like the Sunday. It takes strength to stay close to that warmth without trying to dim it. It takes spirit to understand that Leo's flame is not a threat. It is a blessing. Before we reveal which signs carry this rare capacity, take a moment and breathe deeply. Feel your heart expand. Feel your chest open. Feel your energy shift, as if something ancient is waking up inside you. Because what you are about to discover is not just information. It is affirmation. It is clarity. It is healing. This journey is for the ones who feel things deeply, for the ones who have loved fiercely, for the ones who have been misunderstood, for the ones who know they are not average and never were meant to be. You are here because your spirit guided you here. And whether you are Leo or someone who has loved a Leo, your story holds power, and your presence holds meaning. Leo does not want a love that is weak, ordinary, predictable. Leo wants a love that feels like destiny, a love they can trust, a love that sees not the crown, not the pride, not the performance, but the soul beneath it. Only a rare kind of heart can love a Leo without fearing their greatness. Only a rare kind of spirit can stand beside that fire without shrinking into shadow. Only a rare kind of connection can turn passion into partnership and admiration into devotion. And yes, those rare hearts exist. Before we continue, speak this into your life through the comments as a declaration of identity. I am worthy of a love that sees me. Aries, the flame that recognizes the flame. Let us speak honestly for a moment. When a Leo meets an Aries, something electric moves through the air. It is not subtle. It is not slow. It is not a quiet hello or a gentle introduction. It feels like two stars remembering they once belonged to the same constellation. There is familiarity without explanation, attraction without effort, and energy without restraint. Aries does not approach Leo with hesitation because Aries does not fear intensity. Aries thrives in it. Aries respects it. Aries looks at Leo and sees not just beauty, not just charisma, but a warrior spirit that mirrors their own. Aries does not get intimidated by the confidence of Leo. Instead, Aries admires it because deep down Aries understands what it takes to walk into a room and claim space with authenticity. Aries and Leo share the same elemental language, the language of fire. They burn differently, but they burn with intention. Aries burns forward, always chasing purpose and progress. Leo burns upward, radiating light that invites and inspires. Together, their flames do not clash. They build, they expand, they amplify. There is something powerful about the way an Aries loves. It is not cautious and it is not shy. Aries gives love the same way they fight for what matters, with full force and no apology. This is something Leo understands deeply. Leo does not want a love that hesitates or analyzes every step. Leo wants someone who chooses them boldly, clearly, and without fear. Aries does exactly that. Aries steps forward instead of retreating. Aries says yes instead of questioning if the fire will be too much. What makes Aries capable of loving Leo in a way others cannot is their emotional honesty. Aries does not hide what they feel. They do not pretend. They do not dilute themselves to make others comfortable. Leo finds comfort in this raw truth because Leo needs a partner who is not afraid to speak from the heart. Aries looks at Leo and says, "I see you. Not just the strong parts, not just the confident parts, but the vulnerable ones, the ones you protect behind pride and performance." Aries has the courage to love that part too. When Leo doubts themselves, Aries becomes their reminder. When Leo feels tired from being strong for too long, Aries stands beside them, not to replace their strength but to validate it. Aries does not love Leo because they need a leader. Aries loves Leo because they deserve one. Together, they become not just lovers, but partners in purpose. They create a bond fueled by passion, movement, laughter, debate, loyalty, and a fire that refuses to fade. Some connections exist only for a moment. Some exist for a lesson. But the connection between Leo and Aries has the potential to exist as something larger, something that feels destined, something that feels sacred. Aries brings the spark. Leo brings the flame. Together, they create light, strong enough to guide, heal, and transform. And in a world that often asks people to shrink, Aries reminds Leo that they were born to rise. Sagittarius, the free spirit who loves the soul, not just the fire. There is something unmistakable about the connection between Leo and Sagittarius. It does not rush in like Aries, and it does not arrive quietly like some signs do. Instead, it unfolds like discovery. It feels like adventure written into destiny. When Leo and Sagittarius meet, there is laughter before understanding and comfort before logic. It feels like both souls recognize a familiar freedom in each other. Sagittarius does not just admire Leo. They understand the wildness inside them, the untamed spirit that refuses to live a small life. And Leo, perhaps for the first time, feels safe enough to be fully themselves with someone who welcomes their passion instead of fearing it. Sagittarius is ruled by expansion, wisdom, and truth. They crave meaning, experience, and authenticity. Sagittarius does not love because they need attachment. They love because something inside them knows the connection matters. When Sagittarius chooses Leo, it is not temporary. It is not casual. It is a choice rooted in curiosity, respect, and fascination. Leo feels this honesty. Leo trusts it, because Leo can sense when love is real, and Sagittarius offers a love that is both honest and liberating. There is a magic in the way Sagittarius sees Leo. They do not see a performance or a persona. They see the dreamer behind the power, the childlike heart hidden behind strength, the soul searching for meaning, purpose, and something bigger than admiration. Sagittarius holds space for Leo's complexities. They do not run when Leo is intense or emotional. Instead, they lean in with patience, understanding that every flame has a center, every roar has a history. Sagittarius offers Leo something rare. They offer emotional freedom. Leo does not feel judged. Leo does not feel controlled. Leo does not feel expected to shrink or change. Sagittarius says, "Be big, be bright, be bold. I will travel with you, not behind you." They love with an open palm, not a closed fist. And because of that, Leo feels safe enough to soften. safe enough to be honest, safe enough to love without fear of losing themselves. Together, Leo and Sagittarius create a connection that feels alive. Their relationship does not grow stale or predictable. It grows deeper with every shared experience, every dream spoken aloud, every night spent imagining what comes next. They inspire each other. They challenge each other. They remind each other that life is not meant to be ordinary. It is meant to be meaningful, passionate, and expansive. Sagittarius teaches Leo something sacred, that love does not have to confine, that passion does not always demand possession, that soul-level connection is not found through control but through trust and freedom. And Leo offers Sagittarius something just as powerful, a home, not a cage, not an expectation, but a heart that feels warm, loyal, and unwavering. Leo becomes a place Sagittarius can return to when the world feels vast and uncertain, a place that feels like belonging. Leo and Sagittarius are both fire, but together they do not burn out. They become a guiding flame, a reminder that love can be both exciting and grounding. Their connection becomes a celebration of passion, honesty, laughter, growth, and destiny. It is a bond that feels written in the stars and understood by the soul. Gemini, the mind that keeps pace with the fire. There is something undeniably magnetic about the connection between Leo and Gemini. It does not begin with intensity or passion first, but with curiosity. A curiosity that sparks at the very first conversation, as if both souls suddenly realize they have found someone they can finally speak freely with. When Leo and Gemini meet, there is laughter, there is excitement, and there is an instant mental connection that feels alive. Gemini sees Leo not just as someone bright and confident, but as someone layered, interesting, and full of stories waiting to be explored. And Leo feels seen not just for their presence, but for their complexity. Gemini approaches love with the mind first. They need fascination. They need stimulation. They need a partner who brings color to their thoughts and life to their imagination. Leo does exactly that without even trying. Leo has a natural way of turning ordinary moments into memories and normal conversations into something cinematic. To Gemini, this is thrilling. To Gemini, Leo becomes the person who turns ideas into adventure and words into connection. What makes Gemini capable of loving Leo deeply is their ability to see beyond the external shine. Gemini sees the parts of Leo that are often missed, like their emotional intelligence, their creativity, and their longing to be deeply understood. Gemini listens, not half-heartedly, not out of politeness, but because they genuinely want to know who Leo is beneath the glow. And that kind of attention means everything to a Leo heart. Gemini brings a sense of playfulness that Leo secretly craves. With Gemini, Leo does not need to act serious, strong, or composed all the time. They can laugh loudly, explore freely, dream openly, and share the parts of themselves that feel youthful, spontaneous, and full of wonder. Together, they create a dynamic that feels both exciting and grounding, a relationship where both feel free yet connected. Gemini also brings something Leo deeply respects, and that is adaptability. Gemini can shift, grow, evolve, and reinvent themselves. They are not stagnant. They are not predictable. This keeps Leo engaged and emotionally awake. Leo loves loyalty, but they also love movement, and Gemini gives them both. Loyalty does not always mean routine. Sometimes it means choosing each other again and again, even as both continue to grow. Gemini understands this without needing it explained. There is also an emotional truth to this connection. Leo feels safe with Gemini because Gemini does not judge their feelings. Instead, Gemini helps Leo process them, understand them, and express them in a way that feels natural and supported. Leo helps Gemini feel valued. Gemini helps Leo feel understood. Together, they form a balance between heart and mind. Leo and Gemini create a love that feels like a story. a story filled with laughter, honesty, passion, ideas, and connection that evolves with time instead of fading. Their bond is not based solely on attraction. It is built on recognition, respect, conversation, and the ability to grow both individually and together. Libra, the heart that brings harmony to the fire. There is something profoundly graceful about the way Libra connects with Leo. It begins softly, like a quiet recognition rather than an explosion. Libra does not rush, does not force, and does not push. Instead, Libra arrives with presence, with warmth, and with a calm confidence that immediately makes Leo feel seen, not admired from a distance, not evaluated, but understood. With Libra, Leo feels not just wanted, but appreciated in a way that feels pure and intentional. Libra is a sign that values balance, beauty, and connection. Their love is thoughtful, poetic, and filled with emotional awareness. They have a gift for noticing the energy between people, and with Leo, that energy feels natural from the beginning. Libra is drawn to Leo's light, but not because it dazzles them. Libra is drawn because Leo feels like truth, courage, and authenticity. Leo shines, not to overpower, but because that is who they are. Libra does not fear that light. Libra reflects it with admiration rather than insecurity. What makes Libra capable of loving Leo in a way others cannot is their emotional grace. Libra knows how to navigate intensity without coldness and passion without chaos. While others may mistake Leo's emotions as dramatic or overwhelming, Libra sees them as heart-centered and deeply meaningful. Libra encourages Leo's self-expression rather than shrinking it. They know how to support without controlling, how to love without demanding, and how to create harmony without silencing the fire. Libra brings something Leo rarely finds easily: peace, not silence, not emptiness, but emotional peace, a space where Leo can rest without losing their fire. With Libra, Leo can exhale. They can drop the armor, the pressure, and the expectation to always be strong. Libra offers comfort through presence, affection, and understanding. They remind Leo that love does not always need to come with battle, intensity, or resistance. Sometimes love can be gentle and still powerful. There is also a natural romantic chemistry between these two signs. Libra loves connection that feels meaningful, elegant, and emotionally expressive. Leo loves connection that feels passionate, warm, and deeply loyal. Together, they create a love that feels timeless, almost cinematic. Dates become memories. Small gestures become treasures. Ordinary moments become something beautiful. They experience love not just as emotion, but as an art. Libra also teaches Leo something spiritual. That vulnerability is not weakness. That softness can coexist with strength. That love is not only fire, but also balance, grace, and emotional awareness. And Leo teaches Libra something equally important: that sometimes love requires courage. That truth deserves to be spoken boldly. That desire is not something to fear, but something to honor. Together, Leo and Libra form a rare connection where both feel valued, respected, and emotionally elevated. Their bond becomes a blend of passion and peace, strength and tenderness, devotion and freedom. It is not a connection of extremes, but a connection of alignment. And in a world filled with rushed emotions and temporary bonds, their connection stands as something sacred, something steady, something worth growing. Scorpio, the soul that sees the fire beneath the crown. There is a different kind of energy when Leo and Scorpio cross paths. It is not loud like fire meeting fire, and it is not soft like harmony meeting warmth. Instead, it feels powerful, magnetic, unspoken. There is no need for introduction, no need for performance, because something ancient pulls them toward each other. It is a connection that does not feel accidental. It feels destined, like two spirits who have known each other long before this lifetime, and somehow, without words, they remember. Scorpio loves differently. They do not love lightly, and they do not love halfway. Their love is deep, spiritual, and rooted in emotional truth. This is exactly why Scorpio can love Leo in a way many cannot. Scorpio does not fall for the image or the charm. Scorpio falls for the soul beneath it. While others get distracted by the brightness Leo carries, Scorpio looks straight into the places Leo protects, the places hidden behind strength, the places guarded by pride. Scorpio is one of the very few signs who can look at Leo and say silently, "I see what you show the world, but I also see what you do not." Leo is strong, expressive, passionate, and radiant. But behind that strength lives a heart that wants loyalty, honesty, and emotional safety. Scorpio understands this deeply because they want the same. For Scorpio, love is not about attention, performance, or admiration. Love is about truth, intensity, and emotional loyalty. This is where the connection becomes powerful. Leo wants to be chosen with certainty. Scorpio chooses with devotion. There is also a balance between these two signs that creates transformation. Scorpio brings depth, emotional awareness, and vulnerability. They teach Leo that showing their wounds does not make them weak. It makes them real. Leo brings courage, confidence, and warmth. They teach Scorpio that love does not always require silence, caution, or mystery. It can be expressed boldly, passionately, and fearlessly. And when these lessons blend, both evolve. The chemistry between Leo and Scorpio is something that cannot be diluted. It has intensity, attraction, and an almost gravitational pull. It is not always smooth, and it is not always gentle, but it is always meaningful. Scorpio pushes Leo to grow inward, to explore the emotional world beyond pride or projection. Leo pushes Scorpio to grow upward, to express, to expand, to believe that passion is meant to be shared rather than hidden. This creates a bond that is deep and transformative, one that shapes both profoundly. Many relationships operate on surface compatibility, but Leo and Scorpio connect through something deeper, something emotional, psychological, and spiritual. Their relationship does not rely on constant words. Much of their understanding happens in silence, in presence, in eye contact, in shared energy. It is connection through soul recognition rather than effort. Together, Leo and Scorpio form a powerful union. It is not a connection built on ease, it is a connection built on purpose. They challenge each other, grow together, and hold space for the parts of one another that most people will never access. Scorpio brings depth to Leo's fire. Leo brings light to Scorpio's shadows. And in that balance, something extraordinary is created. There is something sacred in understanding why not everyone is meant to love you. Not every soul is built to hold your depth, your fire, your light, or your truth. Some will admire you. Some will desire you. Some will be drawn to you without even knowing why. But only a rare few, only those aligned in spirit and energy, will have the strength to love you the way your soul deserves. And that realization alone carries so much power because it frees you from shrinking for those who were never meant to stay, and it reminds you that the connections written by the universe do not need explanation. They simply unfold. You are not here to fit into ordinary love. You are here for a love that feels ancestral, a love that feels like alignment, a love that feels like recognition. You are here for a love that whispers, "I choose you in every version, in every season, in every evolution." You are here for a love that expands you rather than confines you. And when you finally allow yourself to release the expectations of temporary hearts, what remains are the ones who can walk beside you with devotion, respect, and depth. There is a profound truth that many forget. The right people will not be intimidated by your strength. They will not compete with your confidence. They will not attempt to silence your voice or dim your light. The right people will feel inspired by you, energized by you, awakened by you. They will not fear your fire because they have their own. They will not run from your intensity because they understand passion. They will not misunderstand your heart because they recognize its language. The right hearts will meet you where you are, not where you were expected to shrink. And if there is one message that you carry forward from this moment, let it be this: you are allowed to expect depth. You are allowed to expect truth. You are allowed to expect love that does not play games, does not half commit, does not disappear and return only when convenient. You are allowed to expect love that feels like partnership rather than performance. You are allowed to expect love that meets you with the same fire, the same respect, and the same intentional energy that you give so effortlessly. The universe never asks you to settle. The universe asks you to trust divine timing, to trust alignment, to trust that you are not unloved, only unrushed, to trust that the love meant for you does not require chasing or convincing. It recognizes you, it chooses you, it stays. So breathe, not just with your lungs, but with your spirit. Breathe into the knowing that love is not running from you, it is aligning with you. Every experience you have lived, every heartbreak you have survived, every ending that felt unfair was not a punishment. It was preparation. It was clearing the way. It was teaching you how to love yourself enough to never again stand in places where you are tolerated instead of honored. You are more than your sign. You are more than your story. You are more than your past. You are a soul, evolving, expanding, awakening. And just as the sun knows how to rise without permission, your spirit knows how to rise without apology. So continue shining, continue believing, continue loving with intention and strength. And if this message moved something inside you, if it stirred memory, if it awakened clarity, then let this not be the end of your journey. Continue exploring, continue learning, continue discovering the truth behind your energy, your relationships, and your soul connections. Watch the next videos on this channel and allow your spirit to go even deeper. There is more waiting for you.